Back at the scales. Let's have a little look here. Alright, we still got a little bit of popcorn in us. 102.7. Alrighty, so first meal, the other half of the vegan mince with the stir fry package. Same thing that I had yesterday, I'm just having the other half.
So today's workout kicked off with hack squat. Real heavy, 240 kilos for 6 reps, and as you'll see, these end reps were a bit of a grind. I managed to get all 3 sets done with 240 for 6. Last time I tried this, I only managed to do 655, so a little bit of progress. I'm actually really surprised after that 5th rep that I managed to get a 6th, and yeah, full depth, and as you can see, very, very taxing. I alternated that with Smith machine overhead press, 90 kilos and 6 reps. I have a different angle here. On my last set, I decided to mix things up slightly and I decided to do a drop set. The reason why is because I didn't feel quite comfortable with the internal shoulder rotation that came with this really, really heavy weight. So just on the last one, I thought, you know what, I'll mix it up a little bit. I'll come down a little bit lower than I had been and just play around with it and see how I felt. And it wasn't too bad on the shoulders, actually. I feel like I've got better range of motion than I thought that I had, because I remember doing these like, you know, a year or 2 ago, and it just wreaked havoc on my shoulders, and I really, really didn't like coming down. I've never liked coming down sort of below my chin. It's not a huge deal, but it's something that I might play around with, and yeah, just see how far I can go with slight adjustments to my form. Next up, I alternated chest flies and reverse flies. 89 kilos on the chest fly for 13 reps. If you can hold the handles like this, I recommend holding the handles like this instead of the ones in the middle. You should still get, well, you should actually get a greater stretch at the bottom, and the benefit is that it better aligns your pec fibers with the motion that you're doing. And I just use the standard handles for the reverse fly. So yeah, 13 reps on the chest and then 22 on the reverse. These were both, I think, progressive overload PBs. Not entirely sure. With these kinds of exercises, it doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't matter too much, but kind of doesn't matter too much. Next up, leg extension, 80 kilos, 18 reps. I usually only do 1 exercise for quads per session. This is probably one of the first times that I've ever actually done 2 quad exercises, but I felt like just a little bit more volume on the quads was warranted. My quads are looking real good and juicy. I'm so excited to see how they come out after a little bit more weight loss. 80 kilos, 18 reps. I did captains of crush. I ended up doing 5 sets for 10 reps on the number 2. It's not the greatest thing to record, but yeah, if you want to do some type of grip work, include it. If you don't do it. I'm still recovering, I've said this before, but if you're new, I'm still recovering from a slight hamstring impingement, so I'm going careful on my hamstrings. Isolateral kneeling leg curls, 30 kilos for 20 reps. I actually think this was a PB, and it didn't feel that bad either. Pretty happy with how it felt, but again, I'm hedging my bets and just playing it safe. Finished off with 2 sets of lat press, 30 kilos. Out of all the exercises that I do that induce a feeling of lactic acid buildup, lat press are the number 1 for lats, and pretty much any other group, to be honest. Anyway, that's the end of my workout. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.
Post-workout meal, I've got 200 grams of pork, and then below that I've got 250 grams of spinach. You can just see it in there. There's a lot of spinach in there, I promise, okay? It's just under this lovely bed of vegan pork. It's your boy, back in the motherfucking lab, aka the kitchen. 40 grams of protein powder, 100 grams of this 0-calorie yogurt. It's not really 0 calorie, it's quite a bit more than 0. But imagine just for a second, right? Come with me to a fantasy world. Imagine that was 0 calories. If you could make something with that consistency, that mouthfeel, and the taste, I mean, it hasn't even got a crazy good taste, but like that kind of thing, you make that 0 calories, you'd just be a billionaire overnight. But no one's doing it. Why not? Y'all stupid or what? What's going on? Anyway, I'll stop fantasizing about the future world. I'm also going to put some stevia in it, or like, is it stevia? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, which is just a sweetener. Don't listen to the soy boys that say don't have sweetener. Have as much sweetener as you want. Zero negative health consequences, makes everything taste good. So I'm just going to chuck it in with here, a little bit of water. I'm going to make like a pudding. I'm going to record that for you. Give me one. Alrighty, and here's the finished product and the consistency that it's got. Obviously, you can add more or less water depending on what kind of consistency you'd like it to have. Also just chucked in on a whim some powdered peanut butter, which is just like peanut butter protein essentially. It's got a semi-decent ratio. It's not quite protein powder, but quite close, and it's got a nice taste to it as well. Should I say two little diet hacks that I've done here. If you can eat something small, put it in a smaller bowl so it looks bigger in terms of the space that it's taking up. Like there's not actually that much food in there, but I'm gonna kind of trick my brain into thinking it's big. So I'm like, oh, I've just had like a big bowl of pudding, you know what I mean? And also I'm gonna eat it with a teaspoon. So it takes me a lot longer to eat, and I should try and extend the time that I'm eating this for as long as possible. Your brain actually has quite a few ways to determine how much you've eaten and when it's done. And none of those pathways are actually realistically linked to calories. This is why like bad foods are bad for you, because they're like very calorically dense, aren't that difficult to swallow, you don't have to chew them and that type of thing, right? And this kind of fits into that category. But I tricked myself. It's going to take me a long time to eat it because I'm going to force myself to spend like 5-10 minutes eating this with this little spoon. And yeah, I'm going to tell my brain, oh, look, it's a big, but like it's taking up all of the bowl. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'll stop talking. Just a little tip. Just got in from partying pretty much all night long. I've been dancing for maybe 5 or 6 hours, burned off probably over 1,000 calories. So I'm having a little extra on top. I'm still sub 10k kilojoules by my calculations, but yeah, just decided I'd have a little extra meal as a quote-unquote reward. I've honestly burnt off so many calories today. It's probably, I don't know, like maybe 3,500, 4,000. Pretty fun. Anyway, in here I've got minced tomatoes, and this is oats. That's it. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to eat this and go to bed. Good night.